Cinema and zombies. Goes together like peanut butter and a hand job. I was in a movie once. I know, star like me, of course. But my charm could not save this train wreck of a film. When I was a child, I lived in a very small town called Brownsville, Oregon, which happened to be shooting a movie when I was in like 4th or 5th grade. This movie was called Sick N Contagious and was written by one of my brother's friends. So of course, I got to be in it. Now, I never watched this movie, at least not past the title card, until recently to prove to my fiance the movie actually exists. So I made sure to save the film and explain it to whatever viewers remain so you don't have to watch it, because holy shit does this movie suck. This video took about a week to set up before I could even start writing a script, meaning I had to painstakingly rewatch this movie a dozen times, and every time I did, I saw a new detail and found more reasons to hate this film. So sit back, grab an ice-cold pint of bath salt, and let's get sick. And contagious. The movie starts like any other, with a title card. We watch a hillbilly named Rick dump what looks like kryptonite into the water, but they tell us later it was bath salts. Next, we get a bunch of shots of everybody drinking that water, which is going to make them sick and contagious. Rick plays with his clip and goes shooting, while Chelsea, a nurse, drives to an airport to pick up her brother. They're both listening to a radio host voiced by one of the writers of my brother's friend from high school. Sup, Tony?
The newest narcotic rave is bath salts. Absolutely got people, hungry for each other, and not in a sexual way.
Next, we see a shot of Rick smoking out of an empty pipe and pissing into a bin full of what I'm inclined to believe is more piss. Maybe it's his bath salts. I don't know. Why is bro stirring it? Anyways, we get another rock off, which is going to become one of the most annoying things in this movie. The music is performed by something called Project X, which I'm struggling to find any information on, considering there's a movie with the same fucking name, but maybe they were a local band. Rick watches something that I don't know if it's news or found footage or streamed. It doesn't make any sense, but it tells us everyone is getting a vaccine to prevent themselves from getting sick and contagious because they don't know it's in the water.
That declaration includes a temporary waiver of certain standard federal requirements.
We see all kinds of people, big and small, getting the vaccine, and at this point I want to point out, because this was filmed in Brownsville, Oregon, which is where some of Stand By Me was filmed, one could say these films take place in the same universe. Talk about a fucking nightmare crossover.
What is this? A crossover episode?
I'm so glad you kids got your vaccines.
Mommy, where do I have to get a shot?
Anyways, some lady runs back in saying her kids are sick from the vaccine, which did not stop this guy from getting it. There's like a town meeting about the vaccine, with someone claiming that the vaccine is great right in front of these 3 little girls who look like they're becoming zombies. I mean, sick and contagious. Now, I have no idea how we're seeing most of this footage as we watch 4 kids fucking die, and one of them just got the vaccine, but apparently the others didn't. But they all die, and they show super weird cut, like, close-ups and alternate shots, like this is a movie.
No, she's burning up. She's barely breathing.
Rick nods in approval of his destruction. Back to more intense ear rape sounds between heavy metal I don't understand. Rick uses his machinery, and Chelsea's driving to pick up her brother, Logan. Logan was in Iraq for 3 years.
So tell me, what was it like in Iraq?
Well, it looked like Florida. It felt like Mexico.
Chelsea explains the bath salts epidemic and names a specific story, which I'm gonna have to try to summarize a little bit. If you don't know, way back in May 26, 2012, a woman named Rudy Eugene attacked and maimed Ronald Popo, if I'm pronouncing these names right. Rudy attacked Ronald. He was homeless. She was on bath salts. She ate his fucking face. If y'all were around in 2012 and conscious enough, you'll remember that story. It was a big deal. If you weren't around for it, think of like fentanyl, but in 2012. It was bath salts. And everybody was saying, oh my god, she's a zombie because of the bath salt. That's where this whole movie gets its idea, by the way, is that one incident of someone eating a face while on bath salts. That's the whole plot. Anyways, Rick goes on the radio to keep people home and make them panic. I honestly have no idea what the fuck his plan is here. He smokes more weed in the craziest way possible. It's a big-ass torch. And Logan and Chelsea are sent into panic because they called their mom and she didn't answer, so they're off to her house. Rick is making more bath salts.
Yes, science!
And then he leaves it around for some kid on a bike to steal. Buckle the fuck up, guys. This is about to get crazy. So he takes the package of something to his local church where the preacher reveals it's bath salts to cure them from any sick and contagious. What? So everyone, old, young, whoever, just takes fucking bath salts, which obviously drives them all insane and turns them presumably into sick and contagious. We cut back to Chelsea and Logan, who see a little girl and follow her, but it turns out she's sick and contagious. So they run back to the car, but Logan dropped his phone. Fun fact, that was next to my cousin's house. Chelsea and Logan arrive at their mother's house and find someone else living there. It's a dude named Michael. Michael asked if Logan is infected, and Logan says,
Infected? Are you talking about a zombie?
I'm pretty sure this is the only time they ever say the word zombie. They will always refer to them as the sick. Only time they say zombie. They go back downstairs and Michael gives exposition on his backstory with the volume insanely low, but he lore drops that people are sick and contagious, so we have to be cautious. Also, his mom died. She came back as sick and contagious, and as Michael explains how he got a gun and shot her, heavy metal music starts playing, completely ruining the vibe.
I told her to stop. And she wouldn't listen to me, so I had to do something to protect myself, you know?
Until Logan randomly's like, you can come with. And Chelsea's like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. We don't even know the guy. And he's like, come on, Michael, let's get to the safe zone. They gotta get Michael's brother first, though. They plan to crash at Michael's place after getting his brother, but the car is out of gas, so they turn to the train tracks and get to walking. Everyone is sick or dead, but we see a car clear as day in the background. Fucking awesome. They scout things out, but I'm just gonna play this bit so you can see this shit. This is so fucking long. The rock and running segments interrupted by Silent Rick smoking weed with a fat torch is the definition of whiplash. They arrive and Michael goes in alone only to get fucking thrashed by his brother, not Zac Efron. His name is Jason. They pack up to leave because the sick and contagious are right outside. This one has a tramp stamp. Logan and Chelsea find a car while Michael and Jason go to the store. They kill this worker sick and contagious and chain up the door, but we see a few more trying to break in through the door. See that red shirt kid? That's me. I'm Red Shirt Kid. Chelsea and Logan steal an RV and pick up Michael and Jason at the store. They drive for a bit until they eventually go to bed. The next day, some guy named Matthew starts knocking on the door to get in. Logan lets him in as Jason gets ready to shoot like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, we got chased by the sick yesterday.
So was that you guys making all that noise disturbing the sick?
No, that'd be Wonder Girl over there.
Don't laugh.
What an awkward fucking movie. Jason offers to take Matthew to the medical center, but Logan asks if he has supplies. He says he doesn't, and then Logan just says, alright, you can come with. And then they say that Chelsea's gonna drive. Is this like a woman joke, like woman be driving? I don't fucking know. Matthew is wanting to pick up his son first before they go to the medical center. Matthew left his son Lucas at his mother's house to watch him before the outbreak, so when they arrive, they find Lucas, but his mom is not around. Lucas says she stepped into the garage a few minutes ago, and when they enter, they discover Matthew's unnamed mom hung herself just a fucking hour ago. What the fuck? They get back on the road but stop due to a roadblock and leave to find a junkyard to sleep for the night, and Chelsea says they are less likely to be smelled by sick and contagious at night? Okay? Jesus, the light on this set is so fucking bright here. They camp in the middle of a field for God knows why. Turns out it's Rick and Fifi's property.
Shut your damn mouth, woman.
And Rick invites them to his home, but Fifi is against it and makes them sleep in the barn. The next day, they all leave together to reach the evacuation center. Out of nowhere, Michael says the medical center will be overrun with sick and contagious, but Matthew says they can't think like that. Logan says they should continue moving, but Rick points out that they are outnumbered even though they have fucking guns. I have to take a break. I'm getting such a bad headache from this. We're back, and the next part is basically just supposed to show the gang running through town, killing sick and contagious along the way, all while we see all kinds of flashes, including shots featuring Red Shirt Kid. Goated. Up the hill and through the grass, I have no idea where the fuck we are. Suddenly we arrive at the medical center or whatever. Fun fact, this is where I got patched up after receiving third-degree burns on my arm in 3rd grade. Oh, and also, there's the library. A map on the door to the center leads them to a vaccination center at Liberty Park, which is just Pioneer Park. They go to leave and are ambushed by the Sick and Contagious, so they run away after Chelsea screams. Lucas stops for a second and is bit by a Sick and Contagious who shows some actual acting effort, at least more than every character in this, besides Red Shirt Kid, of course. They run to the vaccination center, which turns out is full of dead Sick and Contagious, so with no way of helping, Lucas fucking dies. So, Matthew has lost his son and his mother in the span of like 20 minutes. What the fuck? Logan uses the radio to contact Black Hawk, who tells them to head to Drop Zone F, so they leave Lucas' body behind and head out. They run through the Sick and Contagious, and Michael points out the hillbillies really like this killing stuff. Next, a random group of bikers gets attacked by the Sick and Contagious in a weird, nonsensical scene, but the bikers really sell it, and it seems like they're having fun, so I think this is the only kind of maybe decent, not terrible scene in the film that doesn't feature the Red Shirt Kid.
Are you getting this? Oh my god. Brian!
Next, Chelsea trips and is infected by the Sick and Contagious. Logan has little to no reaction to his sister's death until a few scenes later when he has a fucking breakdown. They escape into a car, and Logan gets out of the car and runs back. Rick leads the rest to a safe spot. After sleeping, Fifi and Rick wake Michael, Matthew, and Jason up and lead them to Drop Zone F. When they arrive, they find Drop Zone F overrun. Fun fact, Drop Zone F is technically just around the corner from Liberty Point, or Liberty Park, because they're both filmed at Pioneer Park. I'm not getting into this. They exit the car, and after more awkward shots that confuse and bewilder, Rick and Fifi kill Michael, Matthew, and Jason.
Another one. Another one.
We skip ahead 3 years, and Rick and Fifi are going to infect more people. But first, Rick wants to fish.
I'm fishing!
An unnamed guy with a beard spots Rick and calls Logan to tell him where he is. Logan arrives and confronts Rick, leading to Rick admitting he caused the infection, and Logan retaliates by killing Rick and leaving him floating in the water.
I'm fishing!
Fifi, who is off screen at this point, comes back to dump some of the new formula to infect the water, teasing a possible Sick and Contagious 2. Alright, I don't have a script for this point. I'm kind of freeballing it. It was really cool to work on this movie. I'm not even going to cap. I fucking hate this, but it was a really interesting new thing to try, and I really enjoyed it. I liked breaking down the movie. I liked making the jokes, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope this video comes out really well. I'm about to get on editing here in a second and slave away the rest of the weekend. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I don't care. And don't forget to go and fuck yourselves. Seriously, go fuck yourself.